Yeah. Welcome. Super Indie Podcast, and we back at you again. I know it. You see it. But we rocking, man, and we got the Super Indie Collective brand that we building, and I'll need to introduce y'all to none other than
Hello, I'm Donna Faye, and we are
hey,
here, you guys.
yes.
And we are here to let you guys know we're gonna have real conversations. We're gonna
Yeah.
have real information for you,
Mm-hmm.
but also knowing that independency literally is not easy. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
we're here to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So what we got, man? I mean, there's so much going on, so much to talk about, and not enough time. But I mean, we got to keep rocking out. You got to keep staying tuned to the episodes, man. But I don't know. We do you want to give them a little background before we go into it? Or
I can give a little
yeah,
background.
yeah, yeah.
So a little about me. I've worked in the music industry for a very long time. At
Mm-hmm.
this point, I was about 15 when I got like interested in it. I've had
Mm-hmm.
my company, Steady Hustle Entertainment and
Hey,
Promotions,
plug.
She Promo, since 2008. It started off with like artists, like appreciation promotion type information, but I've literally moved over to TikTok now. I'm a live creator manager over there on TikTok.
Uh huh.
So come holler at me. But
So I mean, she gonna show us some dance moves real quick before we go to.
hold on. So
Hey,
y'all got it
spin that,
confused.
spin that.
The
Go ahead, do
kids
it.
don't dance on TikTok no more.
They doing the spin that. You got to do the spin that.
Oh, I'm not on that side of
Young,
TikTok.
young, young Miami. You know
So
what
he
I'm
doesn't
saying?
know, y'all. Okay, let's let him know. There is another side of TikTok.
Whole new world.
It's the 40 and over TikTok.
Yo, the 40 and over, they still be doing the spin that. I'm trying to. I seen somebody grandma doing
Spin
it. I seen somebody grandma busting it down. She's a meme now. It's real.
That's hilarious. So that's just a little
But
bit
this is
about
true.
me. I definitely love like entrepreneurs. I love independent
Mm-hmm.
artists. Like that's sincerely where my heart is. I've always wanted to see somebody win from beginning to end, and we are here and we're gonna do it together.
Hey, let's rock, man. That's what's up, man. That's good.
Yeah.
So, who you listening to right now? Who's your favorite indie artist? You got
My
any?
favorite indie artist right now, literally, is Vito. I feel like people are sleeping on Vito.
Nah, low key, low key. I give you that. I give you that. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was like that when he first came. You know, he was giving the ladies some motivation too. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. Motivation for the ladies. Let's talk about that. He got a record called "Mine Equal," right? Because I feel like men sometimes don't feel like we're
Uh-oh.
equal, right? That's really hard to get over on males, right? But you know, he's saying
Touche.
like she's my equal. She can pay her own way,
Mm-hmm.
but she don't got to.
That
I'm gonna
part.
get it for her.
Part.
That whip she got, I paid for it.
That right.
Whip.
Hey, you know what? That's good. I mean, you got essentially you want to find your equal, right? But sometimes that's hard. That's hard to do. So but compatibility is important.
So as a male, you think that's hard to find your equal?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And
Ladies, do y'all hear this?
it is. See, a lot of women feel like a lot of men feel like they are equal to the party. They may find a woman that feel like yeah we equal, but just because we have a lot of things in common that don't make us equal. We might have 50 million things in common, but don't make us equal. Meaning, AKA compatible. Compatibility is key. You know what I mean? Like yo, you can have an Android. I gotta have an iPhone. They do typically the same thing, similar, but no matter how much you try, you text me, that bubble gonna come up green. You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm
This
gonna see
guy,
that
these
green bubble.
bubbles.
I'm gonna
Stop.
see that green bubble, and I'm like, see,
Team
we ain't
Android over here, by the
compatible.
way. But listen, so that's crazy. So I have a different take on that, right?
Okay.
You're team iPhone, I'm team Android, right? But they do the same things fundamentally, right? How about you respect iPhone for what it is, respect Android for what it is, and make it work together?
You can, and eventually, right? They gonna always work together. I can always text you. You can always text me, but we always gonna get to that point where we gonna look at our text thread, and we gonna see the blue and the green. And guess what? That there's gonna be a point where you're gonna try to send me a file, or I'm gonna try to send you a file, and we're gonna get to that point where then I can't because you got Android and I can't. You know what I mean? And we're gonna keep running into these walls.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Android just improved now.
Here it
If
comes.
you have an iPhone, you can definitely send me a picture now. It's going to be in high quality. They fixed it.
I know. Okay.
They went to
Pictures,
Google
right?
Messages.
But what about if I wanted to send you an audio file? Ha! Can't do it.
I haven't tried it yet, so
Well,
I'm not going to speak on something
me.
that I have not tried myself.
I'm gonna tell you, can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah. It's all right though. It's okay. You know what? But you know what? The key is find somebody compatible with you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. All jokes aside, compatibility is important.
Yeah.
You want to find somebody that not just have things in common with you, but you know how to work together. So granted, just to shine a little light on your scenario, yes, if they can work together well, like an iPhone and Android can work together well, you know, you can work. Yeah, you got to make it work.
Yeah.
You got to be able to counter, anticipate needs on both ends of the spectrum. And yeah, you know, there's form true compatibility, not just because I like red and you do too.
I mean, well, iPhone and Android are opposites, and I always heard that opposites
Attract.
attract. So I mean, I'm a
what?
little biased still, but I do think
My
that
grandmother used to say that. You know what I'm saying?
I do, like I said, I do think that if you have, or if you are compatible, it might work, right? But if you're opposite, it could too. But you have to find out what works for you. What works for you?
Mm-hmm. So how does that work for independent artists, right? Like, you know, if you can't find what works for if you can't find a team or people that's compatible with your brand or what you're doing, like you think that's as important as well? Like,
yes, that's absolutely important. So a lot of times I feel like indie artists go through a whole thing where they might have a team that they think is for them. They find out the team is not for them. So now they're continuing to look for teams over and over again. But really what they should be doing is working on themselves, right? Because if you work on yourself and you have your own identity, the right team will come for you.
oh, I like that. I like that. That's true. You know,
That's it and that's all.
what happens
Like,
if they never come?
what happens if they never come?
What happens if they never come?
I'm telling you, they're gonna come, right?
Mm-hmm.
But B, if they don't come, you gotta do it. Put in that work, y'all.
I was actually talking about AI artists at one point, right? And I think you could create your own team now.
Okay. Elaborate. No, we gotta elaborate
Create
there.
your own team of like you could literally like yo, like I ain't gonna lie, my personal assistant, ChatGPT. I'd be like, hey, listen.
Chat do everything for me.
Hey, chat, what we doing today? You should, bop. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? And we get it done.
Literally, chat tells me to do everything.
I don't need a PA. I'm good. We good.
So wait, I want to know like how many people have fired their PAs for ChatGPT?
Oh, probably tons. Because you know it's so many advances. There's so many levels you could go with that. Like you could, you know, because if you know you could buy it, right? You know, because you have the trial and let you do certain things. Then if you buy the actual ChatGPT, and they'll tell you, hey, if you add this, you know, it's add-ons. Okay. So you put on the other add-on apps, you could do more.
There's add-on apps
There's
to
add-on
chat?
apps, yes.
I didn't know about this. Okay.
And you could do so much more with it. With the add-on apps, it's scary.
Okay, so what about like if you pay for it though? Did you know you could talk to chat?
You could talk, yes. You could just hit the voice joint. Like, hey, you ain't gotta type. You ain't gotta type the prompt. You just hit the voice prompt. Yeah.
I literally be having a whole conversation with chat. I'd be like, listen, chat, your girl getting a little and chat get me right.
Chat will tell you the truth too.
Truth.
Yeah, and chat will go through your phone and literally tell you everything about you. That's crazy. You gotta be a little careful. It's borderline iRobot vibes. I ain't gonna lie.
No, not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to say that I agree. However, if you're an independent artist, though, do not give up and do not think that you're not gonna find the people that are for you.
Absolutely.
You can and you will, right? Mm-hmm. But until then, you have to keep working. You have to put in that work. You can't expect something to come to you if you're not putting in the work. So I've had situations personally where I've had artists and they're like, oh, I just want to be this and that. And they want people to give them studio sessions and da-da-da-da. No, invest in yourself.
Man, yes, you got to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in you, how you expect other people to invest in you? Exactly. It just ain't going to work, you know? So I think that's high key. Like, you got to do that. And
yeah.
A lot of artists don't want to do that no more, man.
Exactly.
You know, and I think what happened is a lot of times these artists spent money on these showcases and all these janky promoters have killed the game. No, they sure. Like, you know what I mean, and they be like, "Yo, pay $300 to open up for you know what I mean, for T.I.
I can't stand that. Don't pay to open up for people, you guys. Oh,
and so man, but you know, indeed, man, but we got more to talk about, man. But yeah, we're gonna tap in just a minute, man. Just stay put.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. these Yankee promoters out of control, man. You know, and yeah, like they taking all the money from the artists, and there's you know, they charge you all of this money just to perform for a set. And then you know, and then they just really performing for a whole bunch of other artists that they got money from. Like,
Exactly. And then like they tell you that I'm gonna give you a studio session that costs. You could have just paid for the studio session.
I had a guy offering studio sessions for the prize, and it was no lie. It was literally in his living room. The studio was at his house in the living room. Like, bro, I know you lying to me right now. Like,
stop playing. Man, that's rude.
I did even worse. I did an event. I had to DJ an event at South by Southwest, and they did. I mean, I ain't gonna say who was organizing the event, but there was like, you know, they charging artists like $200 to $300 to perform. I think some for, and they was giving artists like 15-minute sets. And I'm like, wait a minute. So if he got a 15-minute set, and it's like 20 other artists that gotta go, how many other 15-minute sets? And then every 5 minutes they bugging me, like, when I'm going on. You had artists that drove from Atlanta to Austin that did for 15-minute sets, 30-minute sets even, and was pissed because they performed at the very end at like 3 a.m. They've been there since 7 o'clock. Like, it was insane, man. And so as an artist, to go through that, to invest in yourself, and then to have these experiences, it's like, yo, I don't want to do that again ever. So,
exactly.
So then you got the first people that's legit. That's like, hey, we got a legit showcase. Even if it's $20, they don't want to do it. No. Because, you know, it's, you know.
I mean, I'm one of them. Like, I would advise an artist. Like, so if I was in an advisory situation, mind you, I manage artists in the past, and I am possibly managing artists now. Be on the lookout.
Hey.
With that being said, I would not advise you to pay for a showcase, right? Mm-hmm. Because of what he just told you guys, right?
Yeah.
And it's sad though, there are legit ones, right? Because I could literally put together a showcase right now, and I might get you the first African American male songwriter in the room. Like, that's something like that I would want to do. Like, I would want to offer you something that was worth something.
Right. Like,
I'm not gonna just play you.
I think, and this isn't the first time I've seen, like I told you, I just went, shout out to Jada Poet. I just went to an event in Nashville. Shout out Train, who was the host of that. Nashville versus Everybody I See. That was a dope movement y'all got. And they did a Nashville versus Atlanta. And I think it was great. It wasn't 20 artists. They had, you had to be selected. So there was only 4 artists, a male and female from Nashville and a male and female from Atlanta, who was selected. So they had to put some work in and get their spots, for one. And then when they performed, they got a panel that gives them constructive criticism, feedback. So you got experts in the game, not just their cousin from down the block. You got people that got they got some records behind them. They got they can give you some good insight, some good advice, and they giving you feedback. And then on top of that, they let the audience decide who the winner was at the end of it. And I thought that was well put together. And then the winner gets it's a whole branding layout. So they do, of course, you know, they give you studio time, but it's a legit studio.
Okay.
They give you they had a clothing line that will brand your own merchandise. So the clothing line they had in the building was gonna do a whole line for them, a brand new merchandise, photo shoot. I mean, and then I think even a headliner show. So it was like all that you get for winning the showcase. And I think that to me, yes. Yeah. I think that's worth it. I think that's perfect. And a lot of you know, I think there should be a lot. That should be the set tone for showcases now. And instead of just give me your money, perform for the 20 other artists, and
And honestly, you should be very like leery, like if somebody like really just trying to gather money and like multiple artists, like he told you that there was limited artists. Yeah. You should probably be visual with that. Like ask, you guys, is there going to be 40, 50 artists? Or is there going to be 4 or 5? Or what do I have to do to get to that next level? Make sure you guys are asking specifics so you are not getting played. Because there are people here that are just money hungry and that's out here getting just that. But there are legit people. And like for me, I think that like, I would love to be able to provide something like of value to an artist that worked hard to get to a showcase.
Yeah, man. Exclusivity nowadays is definitely it's that's the wave. I ain't gonna lie. Like exclusivity. Like, you know, years ago with the showcases, you know, it was like, it's lit because it's gonna be like 30 artists performing. It's gonna be a pack. they was playing y'all.
Yeah.
They had so many artists on board because one, they was paying and they got their money, and two, it's gonna make it look like, oh, it's gonna look like a crowd. But really, if you look at the crowd, everybody performing. Like, so who are you really getting fans? Like, are you really gaining? What did you have to gain? Because even if you don't win, even if it's not a contest, you performing in front of other artists. These artists, and most of the time, just want to perform. They don't care about your performance. They don't care about your set. They're gonna be talking. They're gonna be networking with other people in there while you on stage. But you generally want to perform where you're gonna gain more fans or gain the attention, even if it's 5 people in the audience. Out of them 5 people, somebody that you can connect with that's gonna help you get to the next level. So don't think too much of, is it gonna be a crowd, but think about who's gonna be in the building.
Exactly.
And that's important.
To piggyback off of that, make sure you guys are networking when you guys are getting into these type of events, especially the legit ones.
Yes.
Because you want to network and you want to be able to meet the next person. Do you think that artists have it harder today compared to like what we know as like the start of independent artists?
It's a little bit harder because you got to put a little more work in. As an artist, you can't just be an artist. You got to be a content creator. Let's be real. Even me as a DJ, I had to learn that, right? Like, I can't just be a DJ. I got to be a content creator, which I was like, what? I got to post stuff just to post it and get y'all attention. Like, you got to do that. I'm sitting here making reels, making myself look silly, but people was like, yeah, where's the reels? I'm like, really? What's the mixes, bro? Like, right? But you got to do that. It's a brand. Brand is important. Yep. Back years ago, you just had to have the talent and be in the room with the right people. But
exactly. And as a live creator manager, I am a live creator manager on TikTok. I would encourage any artist to actually go live on TikTok, right? But if you're gonna do that, first of all, holler at me. But if you're going to do that, make sure you are like actually exposing your talent and just like welcoming people in and saying, hey, this is what I have for you, and like being interactive with them, right? I'm not really on the content side of things, but if you're gonna do that content and you have to, like, I know you said that you have to do it, you guys make sure you have those hooks. Not only like speaking hooks, but visual hooks. Yeah. It could just, when I tell y'all the simplest things, like move back, pull the camera forward, slam something down, right? You be like, look at this. Yeah. Somebody's gonna probably stay and watch your video. So make sure you guys are tuning into those hooks and different things like that. Like, that's what I've been studying lately. I'm not like super viral, but honestly, I spend a lot of my time managing live artists. So I haven't been able to focus on my own content per se. But I'm saying, like, I've seen it and I've seen it work over and over again.
So being that you work on that side of it, right? Let's talk about it, right? So talk about it. Make sure y'all tune in too. Talk about it, man. Ja the Poet, talk about it, Indie. That's the plug. But anyway, when it comes to content or just doing everything as an artist, is it taboo now to work a 9 to 5 to feed into your craft, or can you legit just be an independent artist, not being signed, and really make a living off of it?
Please work that 9 to 5. Because you gotta have money. I don't mean to be rude. Listen, you guys, work that 9 to 5 to fund your independency, right? I will not quit my own. I'm here with you, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I have so many streams of income right now, and my 9 to 5 is one of them. I love my 9 to 5, and I'm not gonna leave it until I know that I have 7 other streams of income without that one. Figure it out.
Number 7. I like that. 7 other streams of income. Yeah. I until I could just take a flight and be like, that's the key, right? Like, try to book a flight for tomorrow, right now.
Right? Exactly.
And I ain't even talking about to no island. I'm talking about to like Cali,
right?
Like in the States.
I've been there. I've been there.
Right, and then see if you can't do that and not, you ain't ready. You ain't ready. That's it. You ain't ready. That means you got to be able to do that. Like, let me book this flight. Nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm going to go have a good time. I'm going to party. And I'm going to, you know what I mean? You could do that. You could quit that 9 to 5. Until then, keep that 9 to 5.
And this also is very strict for people who have touched some type of platform, right? Who have touched, like, whether it was a big platform or on something. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
on this segment, you guys, we're gonna do some rapid fire here.
Mm-hmm.
We actually wrote these down, so bear with us a little bit with that. But we are here and we are ready because we want you guys to know what it really means to be an entrepreneur. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So money or freedom?
Freedom.
Freedom.
You know why? Because with freedom, you can move so many different ways, and you can make the money that you need. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You know
Guess
what?
what? I agree with freedom.
Yeah, and money kind of constricts you sometimes, depending on where it's coming from. So you got to be careful.
Money comes and goes. You never know like how it's gonna come in, how consistent it's gonna come in, right? But if I could have freedom, it don't matter. Like if I knew that I could be free, but every regular need was taken care of, I'd rather be free.
Yeah, and freedom gives you a peace of mind too. So,
Yeah.
So let's see, passion or stability.
I would say passion, right?
Mm.
I love stability and I think stability is important. However, you have to go for what you love. Because if you're doing something, so say you have stability, but it's something you hate,
Yeah,
it's not gonna work, right?
I
What you
agree.
think?
I agree with that. Definitely passion, because stability also gives the illusion of this fake security net, right? It's like I'm safe here because I'm stable, but you can't go out there. It's almost like you the kid or block in the yard in the fence, and you're like, oh, I want to go play out there, but I'm in stability. I can't go outside. I can't go over there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But passion, you kick down that fence and you do what you gotta do. So I love that.
Exactly. All right. So next up, business partner or solo?
Oh, that's tough, right? Because I like having business. I like creating partners, but sometimes business partners be doing like a
Flaking.
At least if you mess up and you solo, it's all on you. You could take that L. I could take that L knowing it's my fault.
So my answer would be that your business partner probably should be your partner, right? I ain't gonna hold you. The person you sleep with. Your
Business and
partner,
pleasure.
your partner should be your business partner, right?
Oh,
Because
okay.
I feel like if you make your partner your business partner, then it won't feel like they feel obligated to make sure they're getting what needs to be done.
I mean, yeah, but
What?
then it's that silver lining with, like, you know what I mean? That's your partner in life. You know what I mean? And granted, they generally they're gonna have your best interest, but sometimes the emotions can sometimes cloud judgment, and that can get met. Trust me, I've done this. Like, I've done this before, and I'm not saying that's gonna be everybody's situation. You have to have. It's very possible, but you have to have a solid partner that knows their role. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I've seen both sides. I've seen the business partner that's your partner that is the toxic version, and I've had the business partner that's your partner that really elevate and has your best interest. And I can tell you, he, she, they gotta be them, right?
Yeah.
They gotta be your rock.
But that's crazy though, because I
genuine
promise if once you get there, you find out that it's toxic, that probably isn't your forever person though.
Right.
Do you feel that way or no? Because I feel like that's where it goes.
Yeah, but you don't want to find that out. That's what I'm saying. You have to make sure before you include them in your business, especially deep in your business, that they're really going to be solid and really going to have your best interest and not be clouded by emotions. You got to have these real conversations. You got to have, you got to know your partner, because if they display that and you get them in bed with your business, it's going to look bad. It's going to be real bad. So yes, you need to know.
But what if it's a stranger and then they like abandon you? Now what?
Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing. Just in general, when choosing a partner, right? You gotta make, because especially it's your business. That's your baby, right?
Yeah.
You gotta make sure. Like, would you just have anybody around your child? Right? And so you gotta really think and have these real. You have to come up with real conversations, real scenarios to get things to the point where you want it to be. So.
Okay. Agreed. I love that.
So what do you think? Viral or consistent?
I would say consistency. Consistency trumps viral every single day. You can go viral one time. You can get 5 billion views on one video. On one video. Now what?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Now what?
Definitely consistency.
So you better be consistent, because if you're not consistent, that 1 billion means absolutely nothing. You could post that 1 billion today and then never post it again.
Yeah.
And then what? Streams or live audience?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say streams.
Streams?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just feel like live audience is a little different. Like, you're going to feel it. You're going to get all of the energy from the live audience. And I mean, streams?
Yes, I say that because you can connect with the people with the live audience. That's fine.
Yeah.
However, with the streams, numbers don't lie. Check the scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? Like look, your streams is like your digital resume. So you're gonna be able to look back like with the live audience is not like it's not like somebody's out there checking and counting heads. With your streams, you can see that digital.
The numbers lie.
They do. However, you can't. A lot of times, people aren't really gonna go behind and check them numbers, right?
Shout out to Jay, men lie, women
Yeah.
lie, but the numbers don't.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. Sometimes those numbers can't lie. So how do you feel about that? Because I feel like people do manipulate streams sometimes.
Oh yeah, all the time. Especially now, you got the technology to do it. Generally speaking, though, people just look at numbers, right? Like somebody will look at, like I run into people all the time, and we'll exchange Instagrams. Them, how many followers you got? Or they'll see my
Exactly.
who you got 7,000 followers? Oh, okay, you lit.
Oh, you lit.
You know what I mean? Or they'll sometimes use their followers as a pass. Like, yeah, I got 20,000 followers on TikTok. Okay,
But what happens
You
if
know
they
what I'm
pay for them?
right. So it's like. But that's the game we play now, right? Nobody says, yeah, I got 20,000 people. Because I performed in front of 20,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, I did world tours. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but you look on my Instagram, you'll see 7,000. You know what I mean? So you're not going to see the 20,000 people that I performed in front of. You see what I'm saying? So it's like.
Well, speaking of paying for followers, though, what about the price tag of being independent?
Ah man, it's a lot of sacrifices. A lot of times I sacrifice relationships. Yeah, dealing
Relationships.
with
Okay.
yeah.
I feel like people don't talk about that enough.
Yeah. Like when
Right.
especially I ain't gonna try to sound sexist on this, but a lot of times as a man, you know what I mean. Like the women don't be understanding sometimes. Y'all don't be understanding the grind and the effort it takes to put into it, unless you are in the industry
Exactly.
like yourself.
That's what I was about to say.
You know
what I mean?
I
said, if you are in the industry and you are a male, find a woman within the industry first and foremost, right? But let me just give you all an example. Finding a partner, just doing the same thing you're doing. Example, like I found my partner on TikTok, and we both do TikTok and TikTok lives and different things like that and podcasts. So we relate and we understand each other. We don't have an issue with that. So
right, yes, exactly, and that's what I love that, right?
Yeah.
If you find somebody a partner, because again, like a lot of times, just not even let's take it away. Even sometimes the men don't understand. Like if you're not in the industry and the woman is in the industry and they don't understand that what it takes. You sometimes got to put you on the clock all the time, 24 hours, 7 days a week. You on the clock, right? Sometimes 24/8, like
Right?
like you know what I mean. Like I remember it was a Father's Day. I was with my family. I was with my kids, and it was the Father's Day that it was on the same time as Juneteenth, and I got a call from school to go perform in Philly on Juneteenth. In like an hour, I had to be there. You know what I'm like? Are you kidding me? Right? So I was like, what? So I had to make a real conscious decision. I did get this. I'm glad that I did choose to go perform. And some people will be like, you left your kids on Father's Day. But you know what? I got to spend time with them. My kids, they were young enough to not even understand what even happened. And at the time, like, I'm glad I did that because that's one of those memories that I have forever. And Scoop is gone. And that's one of the last performances that I got to be with him. So, that's it's one of them things where you're going to have to make them conscious decisions.
Yeah. I mean, well, so, like, you had to sacrifice your family, and, like, y'all don't understand that that's the price of independency.
Mm-hmm.
But besides, like, sacrificing of, like, time with your family, what other thing, like, about being successful do you have to sacrifice?
Oh, man. Just time. But we did that, like, food. sometimes
you don't eat.
You can't. Yeah, you may not even eat all day. Just because you got stuff going on. Just
you gotta try to fit the meals in somehow.
Any type of vices. Sometimes spending. Like you might like to buy. Like me, I I'm a sneakerhead. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to make a decision like, yo, do I buy these new kicks or do I invest in the studio time or do I pay for this photo shoot or do I pay for, sometimes you're going to have to make them decisions because, you ain't always going to have it. So you got to really eat, sleep, and breathe this thing if that's what you want to do, especially if you're doing it independent with no funding, no sponsors, and all of that. So, yeah.
Truth. What version of yourself did you have to sacrifice to be independent?
Oh man, I had to man, that's a good one. I had to sacrifice just being just general things that I like. I'm a person I just like when I like something nice, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get it. I had to, like I said, just perfect example. So it's like I had to sacrifice being that.
I mean, I'm a nerd. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So like my 9 to 5 is a big thing that like for me I sacrifice more. Like I feel like I don't put enough work into my 9 to 5 because I'm so into over here in this world and trying to be independent and trying to build my own life outside of working for somebody else. Like I feel like that's what I sacrifice the most. But I'm a little bit of a nerd, y'all, a little scientist or whatever.
Man, yeah, I always been a people person, but it's like to a limit. But I had to learn how to break the ice because a lot of times people will come to me and talk to me, and I've always been that. But I had to break the waiting on people to come to me. I had to start to learn how to get out and network and meet people and introduce myself. Like that was a big transition for me too because yeah.
Yeah, and networking is a price tag to independency too. Yeah. Like you don't understand like how much time and effort it takes to network with new people.
Oh, yeah.
Whew.
Yeah,
like, I mean, do y'all know how much parking costs in Atlanta? I don't want to go nowhere to network with nobody because I don't even want to pay the park, okay?
Man, look, man. Yeah, yo, you... Listen. Yeah, so, but, I mean, these are things that you just have to, you have to consider. And you have to spend an obsessive amount of time on your craft, whatever it is, we spend a lot of time talking about artists and music, but whatever you do, even if you're an author, you got to focus on writing this book. You're a filmmaker, you're a chef, whatever you do, you gotta focus and you gotta bring it in and you gotta really put in that time for it, man, for sure.
Yeah. So, just make sure that you guys are honing in. Do not feel like you can't have a 9 to 5 while you are trying to win in this game. How do you feel about that?
You definitely need to have a 9 to 5. Well, you don't need to, but it's a good key because you want to have a consistent amount of money. Like you said, like I was mentioning, there's a lot of things you have to invest in. So you're gonna want to be able to take that and funnel it into your brand and what you're doing because stuff costs money, man. You want to start merching, right. You want to get some merch up. As an artist, and it's funny, one thing I mentioned earlier about that Nashville event, there was one of the judges, and he spoke on this. He was like, I'm so disappointed in all of these artists because he said, yo, I got a pocket full of money, and I ain't got nowhere to spend it. He was like, yo, none of y'all had, he's like, I'm proud of y'all for coming out, but none of y'all got merchandise. He said, I want to buy merch. Y'all got, where's the brand? And I'm like, man, that's, what I mean? The man said, I got a pocket full of money. And so he came willing to spend and invest in some artists, and they had nothing. So it was like merchandise, man, whatever it is, and be innovative. And everything ain't got to be a T-shirt. You think outside the box with your merch, So yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool to like create like a cup maybe with like a QR code on it?
That would be dope. Yeah.
Right? Like if I had a cup with an artist like tried to sell me and it had a QR code on it, I'd be like, so I'm gonna buy this cup and then when I scan this QR code, I'm gonna get your music.
Yeah, I seen a guy. He went to a Smokies event and he gave out lighters with a QR code on it. I seen the flash drives. He was giving out flash drives, custom flash drives with it, and it had his whole EPK on it. And I was like, bro, that's genius.
How long ago was that?
Man.
We don't do flash drives.
What are you talking about? Nah.
Do we still do flash?
What are you talking about? Yeah, we do flash. Yeah, people do flash. Listen.
Oh, my bad.
What are you talking about? You can insert it in your computer, right? Your laptop. Like we don't do CDs.
But what about in your phone? Like we don't do CDs. Phone?
What you mean? You could. So what? You could. Look, you got.
Listen, I don't know. I think he aging us right now.
Nah, we don't do CDs no more.
Okay.
No,
right.
Yes, exactly.
No, but hold on. But no, the crazy thing is you guys do CDs, okay? Because some of us, that's nostalgic for us, right?
Wait, we can do CDs without flash drives?
Hold on, pause. Let me tell you about CDs though, real crazy. I recently just bought a Mario CD. Mario. He released a CD and I purchased it. And I'm not gonna lie, made a video that he was signing each and every CD. And he put a special number on one of them where you can get like backstage passes to one of them.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
I personally didn't buy it for that, but because he did that, I bought one.
Okay. Well,
right?
fair enough.
If I would have got it, I would have gave it away.
Well,
But it was
there you have it.
he did that.
Okay. Well, fine. I guess CDs is cool. Flash drives is dead. But we got it.
He's really mad because I can't remember the money. But I'm just saying, if you're going to do the flash drive, please do something innovative with it.
It's over.
Okay. All right. So to wrap up tonight, I definitely want to reiterate what we are here for and the purpose of this podcast. This is the Super Indie podcast. And so we are going to ask you. First of all, I'm going to let you introduce yourself a little bit, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay, for those watching that don't know, I am DJ Kemo. You know, we don't got enough time for me to really run down the resume. But, producer, engineer, AV tech, you know, host. I've pretty much done it all. If it has anything to do with audio, visual, I've done it. And, you know, so with Fat Man Scoop, who was my mentor, we decided to come up with Super Indie Collective. Rest in peace, Scoop. And, you know.
All right. So what does Super Indie mean to you?
Super Indie means, the name kind of speaks for itself. Super independent. It means that you are doing everything we don't do anything on the low, on a basic level. Everything is high. Everything is super. Everything is maximum. And super is to the max. You know. And we so to be super independent means to take all your resources and put it into yourself to the max. So
why should people support like independent creators? And what does it like mean to you for them to support those creators?
It's important to support independent creators because one, if you understand the struggle and the passion and the sacrifices, as we just mentioned earlier, that it takes, you know, to see a person take all that and still keep going forward, despite the odds,
right?
That takes that takes an increasingly amount of commitment. And so if you are just a natural person to see that, why would you not, and to see them succeed and excel, why would you not want to be a part of that? In any sense. And so when I see others do that, it warms my heart because, you know, I want to see that continuous, because sometimes that is the boost that person needs.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what they're doing, they might need that one person to say, I believe in you.
Exactly.
And, you know, and that one person could really change their whole perspective. That you don't even know that person could have been thinking about quitting. You know?
Exactly. And like for me coming into the Super Indie Collective, that was the reason why I chose this, because independent artists have always had a special place in my heart. So to be here and to know that he feels the exact same way, listen, this is home.
Hey, welcome home, family.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So if somebody's watching this right now and they feel stuck, what advice do you have to give to them?
I don't want to give y'all the typical advice. Keep going. Never stop. Never give up.
Right.
And you gotta keep going. I ain't gonna do that to you, right?
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is, if you're feeling like you're down, if you're feeling like you want to give up, think about the mansion and the beaches. No, seriously, no. Think about what success looks like, right? Mm-hmm. What is the maximum? What is the epitome of success for you, right? Why are you doing this, and what does the epitome of success look like? Mm-hmm. Some people do vision boards. That's cool. Sometimes you need to really visually see it. But however you can paint that picture in your mind, put it on a screensaver, some way you remind yourself of the vision and what the epitome of success looks like, and then and that should help you, motivate you to get to, okay, I gotta get that, and make it a goal, because you gotta get that. You gotta get to that point.
Definitely. And I agree with that 100%. Like, just make sure that you have a goal and you set a goal, right? But also you are doing things to get towards that goal. Mm-hmm. Like, don't limit yourself to what you think you're supposed to be doing. Go above and beyond to do what you need to do to get there. Yeah,
try something different. Do something different.
Exactly.
I challenge you to do something different. Mm-hmm. Put yourself out the box. True story. When I started doing this, I was just a rapper.
Yeah.
I just rap. I just love to rap. That was my thing. I liked making beats. That was cool too. Because I only started doing that because I couldn't depend on nobody to make beats. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a rapper. I'm gonna make beats.
Right.
DJing was not in my. I was not even thinking about it twice. And many people try. Oh, you ever thought about? Nah, I don't want to DJ. I started hosting. I started doing every little thing to get me in, and not realizing, yo, here's a new thing I'm trying. But I was just trying to get out there as a rapper. That was my mentality. Rap, rapper. And then I got exposed to DJing because it was an opportunity to make some money. And that's the only thing I was thinking of doing. And when I decided to jump into that and I actually realized I was good, it changed my life so much that when I got to a decent point of DJing, I got to meet Scoop. And when I met Fat Man Scoop, I got to go on tour. I got to experience the whole life. Imagine if I never got into DJing. I would have never had the opportunity to rock with Fat Man Scoop. So, which was life changing. And so, yeah.
And that's another thing with Super Indie Collective. Like, as a collective, you never know who you're going to meet. You never know when your opportunity is going to come.
Yep.
If you guys are interested in being a guest on the Super Indie Podcast, please contact us on Instagram at Super Indie Podcast, or you can contact us at Super Indie Collective on Instagram, so that we can be there for you, and you just never know who you're gonna meet, you guys.
That's it. You never know. We got you, man. And until next time, peace.
Yes, and tonight proves that being independent does not mean small. It means betting on yourself.
Boom. That's it. That's the one. Peace.
DWI Music.